The awakening process, or the ascension path, from my own understanding of it and experience of it, is an intense experience, and it's part of this. It's part of this physical reality of showing up here in this physical world, and I'm sharing my experiences to inspire others. And if you think there's no way out, well, there is an alternate way to deal with one's life with this. And I want to take a step back with this about what got me into it. And it became very, very evident that at one point that with one of my near-death experiences, when I left here, when I left my body, at the time, had I not dealt with everything like I have today, whatever was in my knapsack, I would have brought me to the other side, and I would have had to come all the way back here to do the same thing all over again. And that particular near-death experience, that came from, I was simply working myself into the ground to attain a career as a commercial pilot. And at the time it was great. I did it for a couple of years, and then from there I'm doing this instead. In the short of it, there's no shortcuts with it. It is a commitment with it, and initially I was interested and I wasn't committed. And I found out at one point that the universe doesn't work like that. In order for me to work properly with the universe, I had to either be interested or committed. And when I took the leap of faith and I took the chance on me, this is where things started to open up and became a real game changer. I like to emphasize that this is not a walk in the park, that this is not something that one does once in their life and walks away from it, or you have a Reiki session or two, or you get some work done. It doesn't, from my own understanding, that doesn't cut it. I like to begin that initially I had no clue about any of this. And it wasn't until I had some tougher experiences in my life, and then at one point the universe started opening up other doors. And when the other doors started to open up, then it was for me to take the initiative and the drive and the commitment to make the necessary changes at the time, and thank God I did. So I found out that I want to volunteer on behalf of my soul, showing up here with well-chosen parents, with different backgrounds, different cultures, different ethnicities of it. That was the initial start of it. And I had to deal with my own experience, and with it, that also included the Roman Catholic Church system. So it was an interesting, and the most difficult thing was I had to deal with me, the person in the mirror, and that was a tough one. The moment I got into this is because I had hit rock bottom a couple times, and it was simply from having a good heart, from a good intention, from a good place, and my dream at the time was as a commercial pilot. And then when I walked away from it, it was like, okay, this is it. And I'm sharing this to inspire others that there's other options with this. And now being in the 5D, the ascension process, it's an ongoing thing, and it's a personal journey. I've learned that others can assist me along the way, and the rest of it I had to take ownership of it, and no one could do the work for me. That's a key ingredient with it. And there was areas of my life I had to walk through all kind of caves where it was the cave that I feared the most, and having the guts to go inside and say, okay, what's inside of it? What is it that I need to really uncover or energetically unplug in, and being at peace with it? And the moment I came to terms with it, and the moment I was at peace with it, all the doors started to open up, and this is where I started to grow as a human being, as a spiritual being, and it was an eye opener. And it wasn't like somebody had their hands over me and doing some Reiki work, or, I mean, as good as it is, that type of energy, it only lasts for 2 or 3 weeks. And it's the subconscious that really needs to be rewired. And my subconscious, yeah, it required like a full overhaul. It required a full overhaul. And there's many different ways of doing this. And I'm sharing that it doesn't take a lifetime to clear out whatever happened from the past. Because none of us are ever here on our own. We're here with our soul. Unfortunately, many of us are disconnected. And the big reason from it is either with having a closed heart, which I've noticed that unfortunately maybe 70 to 80% of humanity, their heart's closed. And the last generation, most people had no clue about any of this. So as I'm sharing this information, is to get this information out there that we're here to do something else. And the Ascension path wasn't about taking drugs or sitting around and doing Om or something like this. I got lucky. I had a really phenomenal mentor with this. And working with the universe became like a full-time commitment with this. Initially, I had to take a lot of drastic and immediate actions, meaning I had to really up-level and say, universe, I'm no longer interested, but I'm committed. And then when I took a full step back in my own life, it was to connect back with my soul. And I'll be honest with you, that took several long years with that. And it doesn't take as long now. And the rest of it was on me. And I'm sharing this because the moment I started connecting with my spiritual guides with the light, and then at one point with my soul and with my light being with this, the healing that comes through me now is off the chart, and it's anyone else can do it. I got lucky that I wound up earning a lot of trust with the universe doing with what I'm doing. And the Ascension process involved initially clearing out all the lower and the negative frequency energies. And the tough ones are the feelings of shame, grief, guilt. Sadness is another big one. Desire, fear, anger. And it's all the files and all the feelings underneath the feeling of courage. These are the difficult ones. And these are the energies or the emotional entanglements that are stuck within the base chakra. And if you'd like to do some more research on it, I would encourage you to take a look at Dr. David Hawkins' work with the Map of Consciousness and the book Power versus Force. And then another great book there is from Joseph Boutros Agabe, The Power or the Blueprint of Your Soul. And this became, with another book there, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murray. That was the initial reading material. And after several years of clearing that out properly, then I found out once the subconscious was cleared out, then as I started connecting with my guides, my spiritual guides, and most importantly was with my guardian angel, the rest of it was on me to start to up-level and do with whatever I had to do to really clean up everything from the inside out. And I started right from the bottom, and I worked my way up, and throughout the process I earned an unbelievable amount of trust with the universe. And from that, then there was many other levels of this. And it was releasing things like old programs, obsolete ways of thinking, old paradigms. The amount of ingrained programs from the ancestry is something else. And I found out that it's not like I wound up living here for just one lifetime or showing up here just to show up here. I mean, in my case, the soul may have spent about 150 to 200 years of its time, prior to showing up here. And then it was for me to take ownership of it while I'm in this physical world. And then I had to go deep inside and really clean up the foundation. And the foundation was being key with this. The soul vibrates at a high super vibration, and it doesn't want to come down to this physical 3D world. So it was my responsibility to go within here in this physical realm and clear up all this 3D nonsense, and then at one point elevating into the 4D and then stepping into the 5D with this. And that was the toughest transition. It took a lot of courage, it took a lot of guts, and we all have that inner child inside of us that either from a younger experience that either things got stuck or things didn't work out. And there's no blame, there's no judgment with it. It was simply for me to come to terms with it and say, I did things to the best of my ability, and I'm now willing with doing something else. And the moment the heavy stuff was cleared out, this is where the purpose or my path or my awakening process started to unfold. And it's been now for the last 13 years, and it's been a very, very humbling experience. And I'd encourage or I inspire anyone to take a chance on themselves and really have an understanding of what it is on the inside that we all have here on the inside. And it's something that's earned. It's something that's earned, and it's not something that can be bought. It's not something that can be purchased or transferred to somebody else. It doesn't work like that. Because the soul, it's here for me, it's not here for anybody else. And the moment when the universe gave me a second opportunity with this, or a second chance, and I'm like, well, this is it, or this is everything with this. And I wound up really pursuing this because I didn't want to come back for another lifetime going through the same crap initially. And once I overcame that, then things got easier. And then from there, it was a lot of trust earned with this, an unbelievable amount of trust, and a lot of blind faith and ownership and accountability, and really being held accountable with this. And there's no shortcuts with this, because you're working with. I'm working with the universe and with my soul, and I found out in other past lifetimes that I was connected spiritually with the light, and yet the job never got done. And the job is technically was for me to close up all the 3D loops to the best of my ability. And for most of us, once that's done, it's then to go out there and assist one other human being, and that alone will complete the soul agreement or the soul contract. And it's the toughest soul agreements. Those are the ones that need to be unplugged or released. And once those are done, there's tests with this with the universe. There's a lot of tests, and it's not to vibrate as high as possible. At one point, yes, later on, it's initially to go in there and really clean house with things. And once the inside of me was cleared out properly, then the soul's like, okay, got a home. I had a place to call home for my soul, and that was a very, very special moment there. And I'm sharing this because we're in this 5D consciousness, and it's available for everyone. I'm sharing this because unfortunately, I mentioned it before, the last generation, they didn't make this. This information was either stripped, taken offline, was either taken off the market, and a lot of this was completely hidden. And we're really in a fascinating time right now, or I call it the golden era, where it's an opportunity for everyone to really to step into it, and it's on everyone's free will with this. And once the rough work's done, it opens up other doors. It really opens up other doors of opportunity, and it's something else. It's all that I can say. It's a very rewarding experience. It's a very, very encouraging experience. And it's not like going to school or up-leveling or taking the next course in the university or such. It's what is inside of me that I really need to deal with or address and start learning and growing and maturing with this. There's a book that I read many years ago from Napoleon Hill, and he was talking about the Round Council. And I was like, man, I had no idea what the guy was talking about. And now it's kind of like, so that's what he's talking about. And it's an inside job. It's an inside job, and all I can say is it's easier when we're younger, and take advantage of it. And the moment that I want to take the leap of faith, the universe, my soul, and those in the light, they all wound up assisting me with this. And I share this openly because we're being in the 5D. The moment you put it out there to the universe that I have an interest, or I'm committed, or I'm ready to step into this, I'll tell you right now that your soul and your guides, they will go out of their way to assist you, because they've all volunteered their time with getting me and all of us back on track with this. And at one point, just have everything closed up and do as much as you can here. And the more that's closed up from this side, it makes it easier on the other side wherever we go from there. So that's yeah, I feel good with that. And wherever this needs to go to, that it reaches out and connects with the right people. And I'd appreciate if you'd like to put a comment, or if you have a concern down below, put something down in there. And thank you for checking out this video. Until next time, be kind with yourself and treat each other well. Take care.